welcome back to India Business Insights. Today we look at the regulatory requirements regarding the adoption of ESG and the corporate initiatives so far. Environmental, social, and governance (ESG) encompasses a set of criteria utilized to assess a company's performance in environmental sustainability, social responsibility, and corporate governance. These criteria hold increasing significance for both investors and businesses, providing a framework to evaluate a company's impact on society, the environment, and its internal management. Socially conscious investors use ESG factors to screen potential investments, while companies employ them to inform decision making and reporting. ESG aims to encompass all non financial risks and opportunities inherent in a company's daily operations, becoming synonymous with sustainability reporting. The framework covers diverse indicators like greenhouse gas emissions, energy use, waste management, diversity, inclusion, human rights policies, board diversities, executive compensation, and anti corruption measures. Over the past decade, the term ESG, environmental, social, and governance, has gained significant attention in global and Indian capital markets, sparking widespread discussion and debate. While it remains a puzzle for many, ESG encompasses issues beyond corporate governance, including a corporation's response to climate change, internal policies, treatment of the workforce, and corporate culture. In India, these concerns were predominantly addressed through corporate social responsibility or CSR, mandated by the Companies Act 2013. However, ESG, a more recent concept, has garnered substantial interest in the last 5 years. Unlike CSR, ESG enables conscious investors to make informed decisions based on a corporation's performance across environmental, social, and governance factors. Both CSR and ESG contribute to India's pursuit of Sustainable Development Goals or SDG. Stay tuned as we navigate the intricate landscape of ESG law in India for 2024. For more in depth insights, watch till the end of this video. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest updates. Decoding India's 2024 ESG legal framework. Now, let's explore the diverse regulatory framework surrounding the ESG in India. The main challenge in implementing ESG in India stemmed from the absence of a codified law on that matter. Various legislations like Factories Act 1948, Environment Protection Act 1986, and more cover ESG aspects, creating a comprehensive but fragmented approach. The Companies Act 2013 mandates details on energy conservation in board reports, emphasizing ESG considerations. Additionally, regulations dictate the composition of boards, requiring independent directors and, notably, a female director in certain cases. SEBI, or Securities Exchange Board of India, the capital markets regulators, plays a pivotal role. It introduced business responsibility and sustainability reporting, evolving into Business Responsibility and Sustainability Report, that is BRSR, with a focus on ESG. Recent amendments introduce a framework called BRSR Core for ESG disclosure with specific KPIs under 9 ESG attributes. SEBI also regulates ESG rating providers or ERPs as of July 4, 2023, ensuring transparency and preventing conflicts of interest. The Master Circular for ERPs clarifies disclosure norms, and ERPs must offer at least 6 specified rating products, including ESG ratings. In June 2023, SEBI amended regulations for mutual funds focusing on ESG investments. A separate subcategory for ESG investments allows for various strategies reinforcing the commitment to sustainability. For green debt securities, SEBI updated the framework in Feb 2023, expanding the scope and enhancing disclosure requirements. The guidelines aim to prevent greenwashing and ensure funds raised are used for their intended objectives. The RBI introduced a framework for acceptance of green deposits in April 2023, allowing scheduled commercial banks and deposit taking non banking financial companies to accept green deposits. Companies are moving beyond surface level ESG implementation, focusing on goal oriented compliance and sustainability risks in portfolios. Green finance, including initiatives like green bonds and carbon pricing, is gaining momentum globally, with India intensifying climate goals and anticipating regulatory actions. Investors are demanding specific and standardized ESG disclosures, emphasizing transparency and assurance through frameworks like BRSR and BRSR Core. The emergence of ESG themed mutual funds and SEBI's introduction of subcategories further underscore this trend. Increasing interest in ESG ratings is anticipated, with SEBI regulating ERPs for securities markets. Sustainability instruments are gaining attention amid growing pressure to address climate change, and large corporates are expected to extend ESG compliance to supply chain. ESG trends and sustainable initiatives in India. While starting from a low base, India is witnessing a remarkable surge in sustainable investments, marking a whopping 137% increase in 2022 compared to the previous year. ESG focused equity funds have raised from $330 million in 2019 to a substantial $1.3 billion by June 2023. Surprisingly, there haven't been any new ESG issuances in the last 2 years, in contrast to the six issued back in 2020. Despite the growth in sustainable funds, recent data reveals that ESG funds haven't quite lived up to the expectations in terms of performance when compared to the broader market. There's been an outflow of INR 20.8 billion from sustainable funds over the past 2 years. The Securities and Exchange Board of India is stepping in with regulatory measures, introducing requirements for ESG disclosures, ratings, and investments. ESG schemes are now mandated to allocate at least 65% of their assets to publicly trading companies meeting ESG criteria. SEBI has also given the nod for mutual funds to introduce six new categories under the ESG theme. While India's ESG investment landscape is expanding, there are hurdles to overcome, such as the absence of established benchmarks and the crucial need for more comprehensive and comparable data points at the fund level. Many companies have taken significant ESG related initiatives. These include Reliance Industries, that has taken a bold step towards combating severe pollution caused by stubble burning. They have set up the country's first commercial scale compressed biogas, that is CBG plant, in just 10 months at Barabanki, Uttar Pradesh. And that's not all. They are planning to scale up to 25 CBG plants across India, targeting 100 plants in the next 5 years. Why is this important? Well, India produces a whopping 230 million tons of non cattle feed biomass annually, and a significant chunk gets burned, hindering India's net zero carbon emissions goal by 2070. Reliance's initiative aims to use a 5.5 million tons of agro residue and organic waste, cutting nearly 2 million tons of carbon emissions annually. But Reliance isn't alone in the race towards sustainability. Major players like Tata, Adani, Birla, and public sector enterprises like ONGC, NTPC, IOC, BPCL, and HPCL are also diving into environmental, social, and governance initiatives. The race is on to meet ambitious COP26 commitments, including net zero emissions by 2070 and a 50% share of renewable energy production by 2030. However, it's not all smooth sailing. While top tier companies are leading the charge, many Indian businesses are yet to fully integrate climate actions and ESG goals into their plans. India, being the world's third largest polluter, needs a whopping $7.2 trillion in green investments until 2050 for successful decarbonization. The ESG market is slowly evolving, with initiatives like the Securities and Exchange Board of India making ESG disclosures mandatory for the top 1,000 listed companies. But challenges remain, from awareness and data issues to regulatory frameworks and funding. On the bright side, there is a growing appetite for ESG integrated assets among fund managers and investors. Deloitte's CXO Sustainability Survey 2023 shows that 53% of Indian CXOs believe climate change will significantly impact their companies, with 81% increasing sustainability investments. The ESG market in India is gaining momentum, projected to reach $531 million in revenues by 2030. Globally, the impact measurement and management market is on a trajectory to $31.2 billion by 2030, with India playing a significant role. Also, it is noteworthy to mention that PwC India has launched a framework for assessing cities in terms of ESG factors. In collaboration with the Center for Water and Sanitation, they are aiming to make Indian cities ESG ready and attract more investors. This framework covers 62 indicators, including global development goals and national commitments. The ESG rating system categorizes cities as initiators, aspirants, performers, and ultimately achievers based on their commitment and actions in the ESG domains. The framework will provide cities with specific insights, driving better resource allocation and becoming a vital part of their investment programs. An interactive dashboard has even been developed for cities and investors to explore their areas of focus. They have already applied this framework to 20 cities, including Ranchi, Nagpur, Pune, and more. The results show good performance on the social pillar thanks to recent government welfare programs. However, there's room for improvement in the governance pillar, and the environmental pillar needs attention. With low scores on water resource management, commute systems, and green ecosystems. Also, PwC with Money Control created ESG, a bridge to action, a platform where leaders talk about different parts of ESG and share strategies their organizations use. In 2024, big changes in India's rules about ESG investing are on the horizon, and they're going to have a major impact on foreign investors. The SEBI, that is Securities Exchange Board of India, is set to make ESG schemes invest at least 65% of their assets in public companies following comprehensive business responsibility and sustainability reporting. This move is aimed at making ESG ratings more reliable and boosting investor protection. SEBI has also given the green light to six new ESG fund categories, giving investors more organized choices. If you are a foreign investor looking to make most out of these opportunities, it's crucial to keep tabs on the latest ESG happenings in India and connect with local asset managers who understand the evolving regulatory scene. NTPC, India's power giant, has achieved a remarkable environmental milestone. From a D rating in 2022, its ESG score soared to a commendable C in the 2023 Carbon Disclosure Project, that is CDP, water security rating. The highlights NTPC's strong commitment to sustainable practices, especially in water management. Their focus on water reuse and recycling has significantly reduced specific water consumption despite challenges from renewable energy integration. As a signatory of the CEO Water Mandate since 2021, NTPC is dedicated to responsible water management on a global scale. Key initiatives include optimizing water consumption through advanced technologies, implementing robust water policies, and maintaining zero liquid discharge across all stations. They have deployed air cooled condensers, potentially saving 75% of water, and invested in fresh water availability and capacity building. Let's dive into some impressive ESG initiatives by Indian companies that showcase their commitment to a sustainable future. First, carbon neutrality champions. Big players like Infosys and TCS are leading the charge by pledging to achieve carbon neutrality and slashing their carbon footprint. Second, boosting efficiency with ESG. Indian businesses are cleverly incorporating ESG principles to amp up their operational efficiency, explore new opportunities, ensure long term profitability, and tighten the screws on risk management and governance. Third, transparency in action. Many Indian companies are stepping up to the plate by reporting on their ESG performance, covering everything from carbon emissions and water usage to waste management, diversity and inclusion, employee well being, and board composition. Fourth, social impact warriors. These companies are not just about profits, they are actively engaging in impactful social activities, tackling environmental challenges, making a difference in society, and fortifying their corporate governance. Infosys ESG focus. Many progressive companies have taken significant ESG initiatives covering all the aspects of ESG. There is a comprehensive reporting by some of these companies in their annual reports. SEBI and other regulatory requirements have ensured that almost all listed and other companies adopt a certain standard of governance. These have been codified. Many progressive companies have gone far beyond the statutory minimum. We have also noticed that many companies have sustainability goals aligned with the UN created SDGs. Some companies have started reporting achievements towards these goals. The implementation here, of course, is erratic. While some companies have made excellent progress, there are several others who have yet to set up the initial goals. Here we look at the initiatives at Infosys to get an idea on the kind of initiatives that companies in all these sectors are taking. The environmental initiatives at manufacturing companies world would be significantly different from this example. Environmental initiatives. Climate neutrality. Infosys is actively striving to achieve carbon neutrality, emphasizing sustainability and driving green innovations. Waste management. The company has adopted a three-step approach to sustainable waste management, aiming to eliminate landfill contributions entirely by 2030. Energy conservation. Infosys is implementing enterprise level energy conservation programs, demonstrating notable achievements in water conservation efforts. Social initiatives, digital skilling. Infosys aims to empower more than 10 million individuals through digital learning platforms. Gender diversity, initiatives such as Return to Work After Maternity and Women in Leadership are addressing gender disparity within the organization. Community development. Infosys is actively supporting rural communities by focusing on agriculture, water resource management, and sanitation, positively impacting over 1 million people. Governance initiatives. Ethics and compliance. Infosys maintains high standards in corporate governance, setting benchmarks through robust integrity practices and transparency for clients and partners. Data privacy. With a decade long establishment of a data privacy function, Infosys ensures compliance with data privacy regulations. Deloitte India's ESG initiatives. ESG Preparedness Survey Insights. Deloitte India's ESG Preparedness Survey underscores that Indian businesses acknowledge the significance of sustainability and building ESG capabilities. The survey reveals that only 27% of businesses are well prepared to meet ESG requirements, indicating a gap between commitment and action. Despite 83% of organizations have designated sustainability leaders, only one third have both internal ESG champions and sustainability leaders. Approximately 68% of organizations have successfully integrated ESG strategies into their operations. Then we have JP Morgan ESG initiatives. JP Morgan actively engages in ESG initiatives in India, demonstrating a commitment to addressing climate change, fostering sustainable development, and supporting the shift towards a low carbon economy. These efforts are aligned with the global efforts of JP Morgan. The firm utilizes its expertise, capital, data, and resources to assist clients in achieving sustainability goals across diverse sectors, including corporate and investment bank, commercial banking, and asset management. Key initiatives by JP Morgan in India encompass mobilizing capital to advance the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, advising corporate clients and directors on corporate governance, providing tailored markets ESG solutions, facilitating transitions to more sustainable payment practices, and offering ESG data and analytics across asset classes for sustainable investment data solutions. Let's have a look at the challenges faced by Indian companies in enhancing ESG scores. As ESG compliance begins to translate to tangible benefits to companies in terms of lower interest rates and better pricing of their equity instruments, companies are aiming to get their ESG initiatives rated. Some of them also participate in global rankings done by several reputed international organizations. Indian companies face several challenges in improving their ESG scores, including the lack of standardized and comparable ESG disclosures. The absence of a prescribed format results in varying disclosures, making it challenging to compare ESG scores across companies and industries. Another hurdle is the limited regulatory push, with SEBI mandating ESG risk disclosures only for the top 1,000 listed entities by market capitalization. The absence of broader legislation diminishes incentives for companies to integrate ESG factors into their operations. Tracking and reporting on ESG metrics pose difficulties, especially for smaller unlisted supply chain partners in India. These MSMEs or micro, small, and medium enterprises often lack awareness, readiness, and financial strength to effectively manage numerous ESG metrics. Inadequate enforcement, despite favorable laws, is a widespread issue across Indian industries. The lack of stringent enforcement mechanisms diminishes the effectiveness of existing regulations. A significant challenge lies in the shortage of technical competency in the market. The scarcity of talent capable of handling ESG related matters makes it challenging for companies to enhance their competency in this domain. Moreover, adopting ESG frameworks specific to their industry proves challenging for Indian firms. The current list of ESG parameters fails to provide a comprehensive and accurate understanding of ESG scores in diverse industries. Many of the companies see ESG stipulations as an additional compliance burden and a significant cost. Until the companies evolve these requirements into their business process and obtain tangible benefits, particularly the smaller companies will have limited enthusiasm to implement ESG initiatives. These challenges underscore the crucial need for standardized and consistent ESG disclosures, regulatory impetus, and capacity building initiatives across all sectors in India. So, stay tuned as India races to balance economic growth with sustainable practices, striving for a greener and cleaner future. If you're interested in the economic development of cities and the evolving landscape of ESG, you'll definitely want to stay tuned for more updates. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more updates on environmental initiatives and sustainable business practices.